Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to the G.R.I.N.D. Simon Arias here. Get ready, it's a new day. What's up, gang? Thanks for joining us on another episode of the G.R.I.N.D. We got to embrace the suck. And so I borrowed this from my man David Goggins. And if you ain't checking out some of his stuff, that's a good place to go. Former Navy SEAL veteran, turned himself from an average Joe to, some would say, the baddest man on the planet. And so a lot of what he preaches and talks about is embracing the suck, embracing the things that don't necessarily aren't your favorite and that you don't like to do. Herein lies, to me, one of the keys in life. I think, a lot of people, and there's even a lot of people that I like and that I follow that talk about some stuff that this would be one that I would challenge. And that's, you got to love everything, and are you happy, and, all that other stuff. And man, there's times, I don't care what it is that you're doing as a parent, in your marriage, playing a sport, living your dream, being an actor, being an actress. I mean, I've even, with daughters, I've even learned more about dance. And that game ain't even easy for girls and women. That's a grind. Anything that you do in life that's going to be great, there's going to be a sucky part to it. And what I've noticed is either way, things suck in life. It's like, okay, it sucks to put in the work, but it sucks to be broke. It sucks to put in the work, but it also sucks to be out of shape. It sucks to grind in the process leading up to a fight, but it sucks to lose. It sucks to put the work in with your kids, but it sucks to watch them fail. Like, whatever you're avoiding, the opposite of that usually sucks worse. So pick your suck. Pick what do you want to suck. And so I don't care what it is that you're doing. If you want to be great at it, you got to embrace the suck. And so, I look at even parenting, greatest joy in the world, greatest thing in the world as a parent. There's some things that suck as a parent. 80% of it is great. 20% of it is hard. There's things that, whether it's not sleeping as much or messy houses, messy cars, misbehaving, whatever it is, there's things that you change in diapers, whatever. There's things that in that process, there's no way that people are like, oh yeah, this is all great and easy. It ain't easy. In sports, you may love the game of football, love the game of basketball, love whatever it is, but you may hate cardio. You may hate doing sprints. You may hate rehab. You may hate training this. You may hate doing the things that sometimes suck. You got to do those things or you're going to take an L. You may love bodybuilding or weightlifting or getting in shape, or you may like the way that you look, but you may not love eating broccoli over ice cream. You may not like eating sweet potatoes over French fries. You may not love the diet and nutrition part of it. You may not love cutting weight. You may not. There's parts of the game that suck if you want to be great. You want to be a doctor, but you don't want to stay up and study all night. I mean, I know people that are going to school to be attorneys. I think you can't even have a job. When you're studying to be an attorney, they don't even want you to have a job. That's how much they want you obsessed with what it is that you're doing. You want to be a doctor, you want to be an attorney, you want to graduate from college, but there's times where you got to stay up and cram all night. There's times you got to study when other people are having fun. There's times you got to stay up for finals or whatever it is all night long just to have yourself prepare. There's parts of the journey that suck. I got friends of mine, tons of them, that are in the coaching game. Love the game of coaching. Part of the coaching game, you got to move. Most coaches that I knew that made it, they've moved around 6-7 times. Moved their family all over the country. That sucks. That can't be great. long hours and coaching and breaking down film and traveling and recruiting. Not all that stuff can be great. But everybody wants to win a Super Bowl. How great would it be to be Phil Jackson? How great would it be to be Bill Belichick? How great would it be to GOAT in coaching? But there's things in the like I remember, I could tell you where I was sitting. I was sitting in a hotel, and I'm looking at Bill Belichick on TV after the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and they were about to go into a parade, and Bill Belichick was chanting, "No days off." Look it up. Google it. I mean, my dude's 60 years old. Had to be on his grind. 60 years old, coaching at the highest level. Arguably the greatest coach in the history of the game. I mean, you ain't sick of doing this? You mean to tell me he wouldn't like to? He said, no days off. No, people don't want to hear that. They just want to say what everybody else wants to hear. I'm trying to coach elite here. Today is a day for we're trying to coach elite people here. If you're not trying to be great, if you're not at least trying to be good, if you're trying to be average, hang up, stop this. This ain't for you. If you're trying to be good, great, or above, you gotta let me be 100% with you. And that there's things in your process. Stop feeling bad for yourself. You think it's just you. It ain't just you. It's not just you that has something in your business. I don't care if you're a nurse or playing in the NFL. It's not just you that's going through something that got some parts of your business that suck. So how do you get over this stuff once you start to accept it? You got to have a vision for where you want to be. Where am I going to be 10 years from today? Because of this. Yeah, I'm going through a grind with my kids or whatever the thing is. Think about, what do you want Christmas to look like 10 years from today, 5 years from today? Whatever it is that you're going through in a moment that's a part of the process that sucks, what's 5 years from today look like? You know, specifically, I could tell you one of the things in my business on the come up, I love leadership. I love the whole process of everything. One of the things I didn't love, it was okay. I liked it, but I can't say I loved it, was the sales process. Getting told no, having appointments with people, and they forgot. They no-showed me, and I drove all the way out there. Guess what? That was part of the process. That was part of the process that I didn't like, that I had to embrace the suck. Did it anyway, did it at a high level, embraced that journey, dominated people at something that I didn't even love. But I love the outcome. I love the doors that it opened. I love the leadership aspect, the building aspect, the entrepreneurial aspect. I love everything else that came with that after that, but I had to embrace that part of that journey. No matter what the part is of the journey for you, you got to know, I don't care if it's being a nurse. There's something out there between where you're at and where you want to be in any chosen field or endeavor that's going to cause you to come to this road where you're either going to have a vision of where you're going to be and you're going to do those things anyway, or the things that suck in the process, you're going to not do and not get to where you want to be. You got to remind yourself of the price that comes before the prize. Yeah, you got to keep your eye on the prize, but you got to remind yourself of the price that has to be paid to get closer to that prize. Another thing that'll help you on your journey in this is that you got to remind yourself of other people that have it worse. Yeah, you're traveling. Yeah, you had to do whatever late night, but at least you get to lay next to your wife, lay next to your husband, lay next to your kids tonight, possibly, and somebody's in Afghanistan for the next year. Suck it up. Which is worse? Look at people and have a different perspective and remind yourself of how many people out there have it worse. What if you had to do this? What if you had to do that? One of my mental perspective changes on my come up in business, I used to remind myself, coming from Youngstown, Ohio, I had a bunch of friends and people that I knew that went to jail, that went to prison. I would visit these people. And they be in there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And when I would go through things where I had a late night and I had to get up early, instead of saying I got to, I start thinking, man, I get to go to work. They're stuck in there. Yeah, I'm gone for 3 days grinding and I get to come home. These people are gone for 3 years. Or I'll remind myself of friends of mine that had to go fight for this country. Shout out, much respect, thank you to all the military out there. And I remind myself, even when people tell me, man, Simon, you deserve this. Everything that you got, man, you deserve that. My response is always, I don't know if I deserve it more than other people in the world. I don't know how I can say I deserve it more than somebody that gave their foot fighting for this country. But I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm grinding for it. I like it. Part of the process, like the reward. But I don't know if I deserve it more than anybody else. But I know my mindset has always been, stop feeling bad for yourself, Simon. Somebody's in Afghanistan right now, or somebody's serving this country overseas and they can't even see their family tomorrow, dog. When people tell me how great it is that I'm sparring and boxing live, still 36 years old, training jiu-jitsu as a brown belt, hanging with people, black belts, still pursuing that craft and stretching and running and working out and all that, man, you grind, you put in so much work. I don't buy into it. Why? Because I think of how many people are out there better than me. I'm watching David Goggins run out there for 5 hours. He's stretching for 2 hours. I'm comparing myself to the elite of the elite. I'm not that good. I ain't grinding that hard. I think you got to remind yourself of how good you got it and how much worse it could be. You also got to be patient with yourself in this process. That mindset doesn't happen overnight. But if you remind yourself and you work at it, sometimes it's your thinking. It's the stinking thinking that causes you, like when you start to get better at it, maybe your perspective on things in the process, that embracing the suck on a scale of 1 to 10 started out as a 2, but today it's a 5. I know people in my business that their mindset and view of the things that sucked in the process, their mind on how they saw it was a 1 or a 2, and now they're a 5. That's a big jump. I'm proud of them. But they need to grow. They need to go to a 9, 10 on the way that they talk, the way that they think, the way that they act. Be patient with yourself and others, that you got to get better at it over time. Might not happen for you overnight. Another way to help you is you got to remind yourself that most things on this journey, if you pay the price, a lot of things are short term and you get to reap the rewards long term. Like, for example, I see Mike Tyson making a comeback. My dude's blowing up out there again. Iron Mike, Money Mike, after all the adversity. Once he paid the price, he was a world champ. Even through everything, you can't take that away from him as a person. What do you accomplish? You're a champ. You know, I got friends of mine that are world champ boxers, fighters. No matter what's going on in life, I don't care if they put on 50 pounds. Can't run 3 miles. They paid the price before. They're a world champ. And so there's things that you can do short term in the process that you need to do in the short term to set yourself up for the long term. And most of the time, it's embracing the suck in that journey short term so you could live and do what you want to do long term. Pain is temporary. Yep, you know it. Pride is forever. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. These sacrifices mentally, the things that suck, the things that you don't feel like doing, those things are temporary. Where you end up with your life, with your career, with your family, where you're going, that's stuff that you could probably keep forever. And guess what? The price goes up with time. The price don't get cheaper. The price gets more expensive. The longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. If you don't pay the price today and you wait for 5 years, it's going to be more expensive. It's called inflation, just like money, just like the rest of the world. It's going to cost us more for gas 10 years from today than it does right now. I remember when we would all ante up, we would all pitch in to go to the mall, everybody come up with $1. We put gas in Perm's car and we go out to Boardman to the mall on $3, $4, $5. It was $1 for a gallon. We'd be able to put 2 gallons on there. I mean, we couldn't even go to $2.10. We just, you better stop it right at $2 or we're going to have to get out of here. $2 to get us to the mall and back. Now, it would cost us $10 or $8. It's inflation. Guys, girls, leaders, fellas, bosses, future leaders, listen, the price is not going to get cheaper. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's only going to cost you more in the long run. Let's get it done now. Let's get it done today. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. Embrace the suck on the journey. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Share this with people. If you know anybody that could benefit from this, let's get out there and get back to the grind. Let's get it.
Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.